Hi everyone, thanks for visiting my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Carol, the Thrifty Chic Housewife. So today we're going to make something really yummy and really easy. I promise you this will be one of the easiest dinners you will ever make. We are going to be making Fettuccine Alfredo. There are lots of different ways to make Alfredo, but this is my tried and true, and I've tried several different ways, and this is my family's favorite. So what you're going to need is you're going to need butter. You cannot substitute. There is no substitute for the butter in this. You have to use real butter. And then you're going to need some cream cheese. I use 1 brick of cream cheese. You can do this low fat. I wouldn't do it fat free, but I have done low fat. And it turns out fine. The flavor is really good. Obviously, the more fat you put in it, the creamier your sauce is going to be. So that's entirely up to you. I'm going to be using full fat cream cheese. And then we need milk. I'm going to be using 2%, but again, like I said, I've done as little as 1% milk. I wouldn't go fat-free again with the milk, but I have done 1% and it's still good. It's just not as creamy. So the more fat you have, the creamier it's going to be. And if you if you want something that's really scrumptious, I would recommend even using heavy cream. Personally, that's my favorite way to have it, but we're cutting back just a little bit today, and I'm going to be using 2% milk instead. And then for your Parmesan cheese, you're going to need 1 cup to 1.5 cups of freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. Now, don't buy the grated stuff in a can or already grated for you. Always grate it yourself. You'll have better flavor. You can use those things. I have in a pinch, but obviously it's better if I shred mine. You can use grated if you prefer, but using the real deal is the way that you want to go. And freshly shredding it or grating it just prior to using it has much better flavor than something that has sat in the grocery store already shredded. So just a little piece of advice there. You'll get a better flavor profile if you take care of it at home. Now I have also in a pinch used the packaged shredded Italian mixed cheese. I'm not sure what all's in there, but I know there's Parmesan and mozzarella, maybe some Asiago or Fontina. So you can change this up and add some other cheeses, but I would always have Parmesan as kind of the star, and you could add some other cheeses if you want to. That works well too. It turns out delicious. But again, if you want to stay more true to the original flavor profile, you're going to want some real freshly grated Parmesan cheese, or shredded. I shred mine. And then you're going to want some delicious fettuccine noodles. These, you guys, are delicious. These are my favorite. They're an egg noodle by Di Secco. I'm not Italian, but I think that's how you say that. And these are delicious. They're a lighter fettuccine noodle, which is what I like about them. Sometimes fettuccine noodles can be really heavy, and if they're not cooked properly, can be kind of tough. These are delicious. And they can be a little bit difficult to find in the grocery store if you want to try them. If your grocery store does not carry them, Amazon does. And I like to buy mine in bulk. You can get a package of 12 for like $36 or something like that. And that's how I purchase mine, and then I just have plenty on hand. And they make great noodles for other things as well. You don't have to use them just to make fettuccine. I use them to make beef and noodles, tuna noodles, chicken and noodles, put them in soups, all that kind of thing. So I think we need to get started. Okay guys, here we go. We're trying this from our new angle again. I'm hoping that this is working better for you guys. If not, please let me know. But I did get some feedback from some of you saying that you like this angle better. So we need to start with medium heat. And to our pan, we are going to add our 1 stick of butter. And while that melts down, the one thing that I did fail to mention, the one ingredient that I do add, is I'm going to add 3 cloves of chopped garlic. Now, if you're not a garlic lover, you can leave this out if you prefer, but I highly recommend it. It lends a lot of delicious flavor to your sauce. So I highly recommend that you use freshly chopped garlic. You could also use garlic powder if you don't have fresh on hand. And we're just gonna go ahead and add that to our butter. And we're gonna let those kind of hang out together for just a bit. We just want the butter to melt, and we want the garlic to become fragrant. So once your butter's melted, it'll start to sizzle a little bit, and you don't want to burn your garlic or you'll have a bitter flavor. We don't want that, but we do want it to kind of simmer, if you will, with the butter, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. Okay guys, it's just taken a minute or two. You can see the butter's completely melted, and you can kind of see that it's bubbling up, simmering, if you will. We're infusing the butter with the flavor of the garlic, and again, like I said, you don't want it to burn. So keep an eye on that. So for just about 10-20 seconds or so after your butter melts, you're gonna wanna just let them simmer together. And then we are ready to add our cream cheese. Take our brick of cream cheese, and we're going to add that, and at this point we're going to turn our heat down. Our butter is melted, and we want to start melting our cheeses slowly. We don't want them to burn, and we don't want them to stick to the bottom of the pan. So you're going to want to let that happen gradually. So turn your heat down to a low heat, medium low. And then we're going to go ahead and add the Parmesan cheese. And again, you want a cup to a cup and a half. And you're also going to want a cup of milk or cream, whichever you're using. See how easy that is? Everything together. Could not be easier, and it tastes delicious. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to let this do its thing. We want the cheeses to melt nice and slowly. So while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and get my pasta on and get my pasta cooked up, and then we're ready to put it together. Okay guys, once your cheese is pretty much all melted, I take a whisk and just kind of whisk everything together to make sure that it's nice and smooth and has a nice creamy texture to it. And then we're going to bring this up to just a very, very, very low simmer. And just let it simmer for just a few minutes, and then our sauce is done. So I'm heating my water for my pasta. When it's ready, I'm going to dump my pasta in there and cook it off, and then we are ready to plate our fettuccine alfredo. Make sure you stir frequently so that nothing burns. We do not want our cheese sauce to burn, or it'll taste bad. We don't want that. But yep, it's good to go. It's nice and smooth, nice and creamy, except for the little chunks of garlic that are in there. And like I said, if you don't groove on the chopped garlic, by all means use garlic powder or leave it out altogether. That's entirely up to you. And then also you could taste this at this point and see if it needs any further seasoning like salt, and you could add pepper if you would like to put pepper in it. Usually Parmesan cheese, it's pretty salty, so it doesn't usually need any more salt, but that's all preference, so that's up to you. So just go ahead and give it a taste, keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn, and cook your pasta, and then we are ready to plate it. What do you think? That was pretty easy, right? Smooth, creamy sauce with delicious, tender fettuccine noodles. Delicious. Now, I did want to say that there are some great ways to jazz this up. You could saute some red peppers and some, you could use grilled chicken, you could use sauteed chicken, you could use some sauteed shrimp if you like seafood. You could wilt some spinach leaves down in it, or some steamed broccoli on top to get a nice healthy dose of greens. You could also add some sun-dried tomatoes or even some roasted red peppers. Lots of delicious ways to jazz this up, but it's so good and so easy, and it would be perfect for our upcoming Valentine's Day, right? So let's give it a taste. Smooth, creamy. Really good. I love that kick of garlic, but if you don't like the garlic, you can leave it out and it will still be good. The sauce is so creamy. It's great comfort food for this time of year. So I hope you will give this a try. And speaking of Valentine's Day, I am working on a romantic dinner for two Valentine's Day special for you guys. And if you missed it, I put out a poll on YouTube asking, did you want elegant and easy or fancy with a little bit of fussy? And you guys voted, and you voted for elegant and easy. So I'm going to be working on a meal for two. This is going to be geared for two people. That will be elegant and easy with a touch of fancy. So I'm really excited about that, and I hope you will tune in for that. I'm going to try really hard to get that posted for you by February 1st so that you have plenty of time to plan your Valentine's dinner to celebrate with your love. Thanks for coming along with me today, guys. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section for me below. Like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.